Chapter 52 94.8 Somewhere far away, and getting farther, a dozen people took Scythe Anastasia's robe and lovingly turned it into a shroud. They carefully sewed it, decorated it as best they could, then set her down in the hold. A single turquoise shroud amid the pale canvas. She froze within minutes. "You can't just leave her there!" Rowan screamed at Cirrus. "You wanted her here! You wanted her in charge! She told me so!" "I know," Cirrus told him. "But, like the Thunderhead, I can't violate my core programming. The dead will all be revived when we arrive on TRAPPIST 1E in 117 years. Although, people are already considering renaming it Anastasia. She's a Scythe! That means she's not bound by your rules like the rest of the dead. She renounced her Scytheship yesterday." "That doesn't matter! It's a lifetime appointment. Scythes can do whatever they want, even give up their ring, but they never stop being Scythes." "Point taken," said Cirrus. "In that case, I'll let her retain her identity. I will bring her back as herself, without implanting her with someone new, in 117 years. Rowan punched the wall. The artificial gravity was lighter than Earth's, so the force of his punch actually pushed him backward. "TRAPPIST 1E only has about 3/4 the gravity of Earth," Cirrus told him. "I've matched our rotation to simulate the gravity there, so you'll need to be careful." "I don't want to be careful," he said. "What I want is to be down there with her, just like I was in the vault." He couldn't stop his tears now. He hated that Cirrus could see them. He hated Cirrus, and the Thunderhead, and Goddard, and everyone on Earth who made this happen. "I want to be with her. That's what I want. I want to be frozen with her for the next 117 years. "You may choose that, of course," Cirrus said. "But if you stay with us, there is a high probability that you would grow to be an effective leader on this ship. You might not think so now, but in time people will warm to you. Your presence here will drop the chances of catastrophic social collapse down to nil. I would very much like you to remain alive. I don't give a shit what you want." The hold was shaded from the sun, so the temperature of its contents were far below freezing. It was also airless, so anyone entering needed a spacesuit. Rowan descended through the airlock, fully suited with his helmet flashlight on. She was easy to find. He wanted to touch her, but his gloves were thick, and he didn't want to feel how hard she became within her shroud. He lay down near where she had been placed. He could let it happen slowly, just let his oxygen run out. But hadn't Citra said when they were in the vault that oxygen deprivation was worse than hypothermia? Hypothermia was only bad until you stopped shivering and gave in to the wave of exhaustion. This wouldn't be death by hypothermia, though. Not in the traditional sense. When he opened his face mask, he would asphyxiate and freeze all in the same moments. He didn't know whether or not it would be painful, but it would be quick. He lay there for a good long time. He was not afraid of this. There wasn't a thing about death that frightened him anymore. What kept sticking in his mind was Citra. She wouldn't want him to do this. In fact, she'd be furious. She would want him to be stronger. So he stayed there for a better part of an hour, reaching for the button to open up his mask, and then taking his hand away, again and again. Then, finally, he stood up, gently touched the edge of Citra's turquoise shroud, and returned to the realm of the living. "What are our chances of making it there?" Rowan asked Cirrus. "Very favorable," Cirrus told him. 94.2%. 94.8 now that you've decided to remain alive. "Good. Here's how this is going to work. I will stay alive for the full 117 years without turning a single corner. Difficult, but it can be done. You'll need nanite infusions and constant monitoring toward the end. Then," continued Rowan, "when you revive her, I will turn the corner. You will set me back to the age I am right now. That won't be a problem, although after 117 years, your feelings may change. They won't. Conceited, said Cirrus. It's just as likely that they won't, and maintaining your devotion might even make you a more effective leader. Rowan sat down. He was the only one on the flight deck. No one needed to be here anymore. The others, whoever they were getting to know one another and the ship. Everyone coming to terms with the limited environment to which they'd have to adapt. I believe, said Cirrus, that you and I are going to be great friends. I despise you, said Rowan. Now you do, yes, said Cirrus. But remember, I know you, Rowan. There's a very high probability that your hatred won't last. But in the meantime, said Rowan, I'm really enjoying hating you. I completely understand. Which only made Rowan hate Cirrus all the more. Proclamation? It is my sad duty to inform you that Highblade Hammerstein of East America has fallen to what can only be described as a pox. Overblade's Goddard continued absence suggests that he, too, has been lost. In light of that, I hereby withdraw West America from the North America Allied Scythedom, so that we may tend to our own dead. While it would be tempting to blame Tonus for this global attack, or even the Thunderhead itself, evidence has surfaced in the form of lost writings from Scythe Da Vinci, suggesting that this event might be the mythic failsafe of the founding Scythes. If so, I can't imagine what they were thinking, and frankly, I'm too weary to try. To those who are suffering, I wish you a quick passage. To those of us who remain, I wish you solace, and the hope that our shared grief will draw all of humankind closer to one another. Her Excellency, High Blade Mary Pickford of West America. September 16th, Year of the Cobra. Hey friends, narrator here. So, that was chapter 52. And there's only 2 left. And I know that one was a short one, but it kind of put the lid on Rowan and Citra, where they are, what they're going to be doing, and also the path forward for the next 117 years. Well, in any case, it looks like we have some fallout in the rest of the world as well back on Earth. But we'll see if the next 2 chapters remaining dive into that just a little bit. Next up, chapter 53. The Paths of Pain and Mercy. Bye.